my dear friends, welcome to RMK Resolutions. Now, today we are going to talk on the very special topic in the zoology is the phylum Echinodermata. So this phylum Echinodermata, this is the different kinds of phylum. Under this phylum, there are different special animals comes. So these particular animals which come under the phylum Echinodermata, these are the spiny skin animals. Now see, this is very interesting. Spiny skin animals means on the body there are some spines present. Many spines are present on the body surface. That's why these animals come under the phylum Echinodermata. Now this word Echinodermata was derived from the Greek word echinus, means spines. Spines means these are the some pointed hard calcareous structure which are found on the skin, and derma means skin. That's why it is called as the Echinodermata, that is a spiny skin animals. Now when we look at the habitat of this particular animal, so these Echinodermata animals, these are exclusively marine, means they are only found in a marine water. They are not found in the fresh water, they are not found on the terrestrial, they are only found in a marine water. Then next important feature of this Echinodermata, these are gregarious. Gregarious means they are found in a crowd. They are not found in single, they are found in a crowd. Then these are the free living. They are free living in the water, and some animal they are fixed to the certain solid substratum. Otherwise, Echinodermata, these are the free living animals, and they are the slow moving animals. They are moving, but they are slowly moving animals. We will see how these particular animals move. Next important character about the symmetry. They are having a pentamerous radial symmetry. We can see the figure in the next view. Pentamerous radial symmetry. Above picture explain the pentamerous symmetry. In the middle diagram, it exhibits the pentamerous symmetry. Then Drosophila, they exhibit the bilateral symmetry, and on the right hand side there is a spherical symmetry. So this is the difference between a symmetry. So this picture again explains the symmetry. On the left hand side, example starfish which comes under the phylum Echinodermata, they exhibit the pentamerous symmetry or radial symmetry. They having 5 arms. Then remember, larva is bilateral, but animal they exhibit the pentamerous symmetry. Then when we look at the body shapes, so in the Echinodermata there are tremendous diversity. So many species they comes under the phylum Echinodermata. So there are different body shapes are there. Some Echinodermata they are the globular in shape, some they are the spherical, some they are the discoidal, elongated, flattened. So these are the some body shapes exhibited by the phylum Echinodermata. You can see the body shapes in the next view. Okay, so this picture explains the different body shape. This one is the starfish. This one is also the starfish. They are having 5 arms, and in the each arm there are some systems are present. This is the sea urchin, which is globular or spherical in shape. See, there are different spines are present on the body surface. This is the sea cucumber. They are the bottom dweller animal. This is also the sea cucumber. They are the bottom dweller. Sea cucumber, it is elongated. They have an elongated body shape. Then when we see this particular animal, then they are having a 2 surface. Remember, this is important. Oral surface and aboral surface. Oral surface where the mouth is present, and aboral surface where the anus is present. So we will see some other characteristics. First of all, see some examples. Example, there is a starfish. Remember, many people know the starfish, but actually it is not a fish, but this is the Echinodermata. So example of Echinodermata, starfish is there, then brittle star is there, then sea cucumber is there, and sea urchin is there. Sea urchin, it is very famous animal. It is used in life sciences. in the genetics for the different experimental purposes. So these are some examples of the Echinodermata. So there are tremendous diversity, as I can say. So there is a diversity for the size, shape, habit and habitat. So this is about some characteristics. Then some Echinodermata, they are also bottom dweller. That is, they are found in the bottom of the sea, about 6,000 meter down in the sea, and some they are found in a tide mark. They are coming. They are present in some tide mark regions. So this is about some general characteristics of the phylum Echinodermata. Okay, so see, as I told you, this particular Echinodermata, they are having oral end and aboral end. So oral end, there is a mouth, and remember, mouth is underneath. Okay, suppose there are two, ventral side and dorsal side. So oral end it is found underside of the animal, and at the oral end there is an ambulacral grooves are present. We will discuss that ambulacral grooves later on. And aboral end, where the madreporites are present, and aboral end at the top, and mouth it is present at the bottom side, or it is a below side. Okay, so this is the oral end and aboral end. These are the important characteristics. Now see, as I told you, this is the oral end where ambulacral grooves are present. Now see here, ambulacral grooves are present. Grooves means what? It is the depression present on the surface, that is called as the ambulacral grooves. And from the ambulacral grooves, some tube feet are arise. Tube feet, which is used for the locomotion purposes. So
this picture shows the ambulacral grooves, which are the depression which are found on the each arm of the starfish, and from these ambulacral grooves tube feet are arise. Ambulacral grooves, they are found at the oral surface of the animal, or we can say oral surface of the starfish, and that is used from these ambulacral grooves tube feet are arise. So 2 to 3 rows are there from where tube feet are arise.
So from the ambulacral grooves tube feet are arise, and that tube feet are used for the locomotion purposes, and some way that is also used for the respiratory purposes. Then when we see the endoskeleton of the animal, then endoskeleton, it is a closely fitted plates. These are the calcareous plates, and these are the plates which are closely fit into each other. So that is the endoskeleton of the animal. And exoskeleton, we know that exoskeleton means there is a spines which act as an exoskeleton of the animal. Then when we discuss about the coelom, coelom means it is the body cavity. So there is a large body cavity or coelom is found in the Echinodermata. So we can say that this is the coelomate animal. They are having a coelom. Those animal which don't having a coelom, which is called as a acoelomate animal. So this Echinodermata, they are the coelomate animal. Then again, another very important characteristics, Echinodermata, they are having water vascular system. Water vascular system is present, which is also called as the ambulacral systems, which are present in a Echinodermata. So we can say that this particular water vascular system, this is the circulatory system of the animal.
This picture explains the water vascular system of the starfish or Echinodermata. So now let's understand the different parts of the water vascular system. So you can see in the diagram there is a madreporite. Madreporite, it is the button-like structure, a hard button-like structure, which is the hydropore. Now madreporites, it is found at the aboral end of the animal, and that madreporite, from the madreporite water is enter inside the body. So you can see here, this one is the madreporite from where water is enter. Now see, this one is the ring canal, and ring canal is extended to the tube canal, or we can say the radial canal. So there are 5 radial canals are there and 1 ring canal is there. So firstly the water is coming from the madreporites, then it is coming to the stone canal. You can see here, this one is the stone canal which is going to connect the madreporite and ring canal. So water firstly it is enter from the madreporites, then water is filled to the ring canal, and then water is moving towards the radial canal. In this way water is moving in the echinodermata, so that's why it is called as the water vascular system. And finally water is coming to the ampulla, so ampulla is filled, and then ampulla push the water into the tube feet. Now tube feet, they are present at the oral surface. Tube feet, they are arise from the ambulacral grooves, and then finally the water is enter into the tube feet, and then that tube feet are used for the locomotion purposes. So in this way water vascular system of the animal is working. So remember the important parts: madreporite is there, and this particular stone canal they connect the madreporites and ring canal. So water is filled over here, and then water is passed to the radial canal, then water is filled into the ampulla, and from ampulla water is going inside the tube feet. So this is the water vascular system of the starfish. So this picture shows the madreporites and different parts of the starfish. This also shows the white button like structure, which is the madreporite. This one is also the madreporite, and these are the oral and aboral surface of the animal.
Then madreporites. Remember again, this is the important concept, madreporites, which is also called as the hydropore. As I mentioned here, madreporites, it is present at the aboral end, and that madreporite means what? It is the hard button like structure, calcareous structure, which act as a hydropore. Hydropore means where what? Water is entering through this particular channel, so that is called as the hydropore. So hydropore or madreporite, it is the sieve plate like structure from where the water is enter inside the body of echinodermata. Now next characteristics of the echinodermata, they having a tube feet, or it is also called as the podia, that is used for the locomotion purposes, then that is used for the food capturing, and that is also used for the respiration. So these tube feet, which are arise from the ambulacral grooves, and where the tube feet are present? Tube feet are present at the oral end, and they are coming from the ambulacral grooves. There is a 2 to 3 rows of ambulacral grooves are there, and from that ambulacral grooves tube feet are arise, and tube feet, they they are useful for the locomotion purposes, sometimes food capturing also, and for the respiration also, that tube feet are used. So remember, tube feet, they are very important, and there are number of tube feet are present on the oral surface of the animal. Then when we will say about the respiration, so respiration by means of the papillae, it is a skin gills through which respiration takes place, and peristomial gills are also found, that also used for the respiration in case of the echinodermata. Then you can see the diagram of the tube feet in a next view.
This picture shows the tube feet. So number of tube feet which are arise from the ambulacral grooves, and water is coming from the madreporite to stone canal to ring canal to radial canal and then ampulla, and then finally water is coming to the tube feet, and finally animal is moving with the help of the tube feeds. So these pictures shows the tube feeds.
Next, pedicelaria. Pedicelaria, this is the pointed structure which are found on the surface of the animal, and that is also used for the protection. They protect the skin gills. So pedicelaria, it is used for the protection purposes. You can see the pedicelaria figure in a next view.
The picture shows the pedicelaria. It is the pointed structure which is used for the protection of the particular animal. This picture also the pedicelaria. Different shapes of the pedicelaria are found on the different animal.
Then remember again, circulatory system is reduced. We know that circulatory system is here, there is no blood or such kind of fluids are present. So circulatory system, it is reduced and heart is absent. There is no heart, my dear friends. So water vascular system, this is very important in case of the echinodermata. They somewhat they act like a circulatory system. Then excretory system, again it is absent in the animal. Nervous system, it is a primitive, means old one. The primitive nervous system is there, and there is a lack of brain. There is no brain in the echinodermata animal, and cranium oral ring is present and nerve. See here, focus on this particular diagram. So it is helpful to understand the nervous system. See, suppose this is the echinodermata. So as I told you, echinodermata, they exhibit the pentamerous symmetry. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 equal halves are produced. So that's why it is called as a pentamerous symmetry or radial symmetry. We'll discuss about the nervous system. So here there is a central ring is present. Central nerve ring is there, and there are 5 radial nerves are there. These particular radial nerves, they are spread in the arms of the animal. So these are the radial nerve. This is about the nervous system. Okay, so next characteristics of this particular animal, we'll talk about the reproductive system. So sex are separate in this particular animal, and there is no sexual dimorphism. Remember, there is no sexual dimorphism exist by the animal. Then reproduction, obviously reproduction is by means of the sexual reproduction, and fertilization is external. Fertilization, this is the union of male and female gamete that is takes place outside the body. So this is very challenging process that is done by some chemicals. Some chemicals are there, so these particular gametes are attracted with each other, and fertilization takes place out of the body. So fertilization is external. Then again, development, how that animal is developed. Animal is developed by means of the larva. So larva, characteristics of the larva, they are the microscopic in nature, ciliated and transparent and free swimming. Larva, they are ciliated, they are transparent, they are free swimming larva, and from this larva animal is going to develop. Then another important characteristics of the animal, they exhibit the autotomy. Autotomy means what? Lost, means when some body part is lost, then that lost body part is again regenerated. That is called as the autotomy, that is exhibited by the echinodermata. Then let's talk about the sense organ of the animal. So sense organ, it is poorly developed in this particular animal, but they having a statocyst. Statocyst, this is a pigment eye spot, that is the tactile tentacles which are present at the end of the arm, and that somewhat act like a sense organ, but sense organ, it is very poorly developed. So I hope all of you like the video. These are some general characteristics of the echinodermata. So please like the video share the video and subscribe my channel RMK Resolutions and hit the bell icon so all of you get the notification of such kind of video in the life sciences. Thank you. Bye.